Welcome back to Fire Force Anime Review, episode number 65. Excuse me. We're here discussing the 55th episode of the series. 57th. Known as Holy Sword Resurrected. This episode covered chapters 203 to 206. Basically, in a way, 203 and 204 were pretty much part of the Arthur's Adventure arc, and the final two chapters were the start of the Stone Pillars arc, which I found that more interesting than Arthur's Adventure. Actually, 206 is though, not 205. Yeah, the whole thing with Arthur's Adventure stuff, it's bizarre. It plays into his fantasy. We have him, Vulcan, Lisa, and the little kid, where they're just looking for this Alchemicum stuff, legend from Atlantis. It's all usual stuff for him. And then they decide to go down Nether to find this Alchemicum. They're down there for a while. They supposedly have a boss where Lisa brings out her octopus form. And then they're down there for a while, and then they just run into two random people who just happen to be Arthur's missing parents. Yep. Why in the world are down there? Oh, they form a resistance because they're on the run from debt collectors. Yep. Oh yeah, and she knows all about like somebody she could bust, all this other stuff. And Vulcan's like, how'd you know that? Oh, it was his imagination. Despite the fact the man's actually lying about that because they battle everything with doppelgangers, whatever. Yeah, and then the group in the room with all this technology. Yeah, Vulcan playing with we basically holding a smartphone. He doesn't know what the heck this thing is, but I can tell what it is. It's a freaking smartphone. And then we see, get this, there's on this table the tip of a rocket. Yes, an actual rocket shot into space. And apparently this is meltdown for Arthur's new sword, which is what he had for pretty much the rest of the series at this point. And that's kind of what happens next. They just forge new sword right there, and well, then he's like happy with the sword. They move on to seeing Kero seeing Shiro found in a room, Shira, where he is moping, but he wants a connection to a Duel Link. So he asks Kira for help, who then asks basically the captain for help. And they kind of lose his tension by stomping on his belly. Not actually stomp, more like rubbing his foot, just loosen him up. And then like just relax, like completely still. And supposedly that connects to Duel Link. And it works. Because he's in Duel Link and he runs to his brother, who by the way is alive. And Shiro basically mentioned in the episode, his last word of the episode is brother, which means he does accept that Shiro is his brother. Presumably, but that's pretty much the episode in a nutshell. Excuse me, it's pretty good. Now, the arc itself, if you're really curious, the arc itself, it is roughly 14 chapters. This episode, like I mentioned, just adapted the first episode of this arc. First chapter. So my guess is with next week's episode we'll probably go from 207 to 210. The following week 211 to 214. So yeah, 58 is probably going to cover from 207 to 210. 59 is 211 to 214. 60, which is going to be in a few weeks, probably 215, maybe 218. Oh, there's one I forgot to mention. So part of this video. So they arrive in the room, and then we see his little kids also having all blonde hair. Yeah, these are Arthur's siblings that he apparently did not know he had. So after they left their one son behind, they decided to have more kids. About 3 of them. And apparently Arthur doesn't notice the fact he actually has siblings. Why in the world this is, I don't know. It's one of the most strangest things related to the series. Yeah, the fact he's got siblings. 3 of them. Yep. As for the reason for them, I don't know. By the way, there's no credit for who plays his parents. Yeah, no English dub credit for those two. And pretty much basically the only time they ever appear in the whole entire series is in this one arc. Arthur's Adventure. Yeah. But not much to say about the episode. Aside from the fact we finally passed Arthur's Adventure, which I wasn't really a big fan of it at all. I thought basically it was a bunch of annoying nonsense. But looking up the Stone Pillars is much more interesting. Okay, so that's pretty much a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next, I have a Comic Corner, and then it's on to Case Closed. Okay, next video. Bye.